I'm banging this is my car. It's a 202 TII 73.
Here's the bottom of this. What am I doing wrong?
Right.
Here it is.
Doing wrong.
I'm just being a retard. That's what I'm doing wrong.
How did I put a seat
So this
belt
is 1975. So we're 1973.
Yeah.
So we're 3 years newer.
Yeah, they made these from 71
Yes.
to 75.
Okay.
Pretty sure I'm right on that. And they made 38,500 of these TIIs.
Yep. Wow, that's quite a few.
Yeah. These 202s, I don't know if you know this, but these 202s actually brought BMW back to life.
Yes.
Because BMW were going to close.
Yep.
They brought this TII, they brought the 202 out, which
Yes.
actually saved them.
I didn't know that.
Because it was a really good model and people liked it, and so that's what helped them back into life, basically. So I think that's quite an interesting thing. This is my fourth one of these. I had 3 in the UK.
Yes.
Which my first one was my mate's mum had.
Yes.
And it was a limey green colour one.
Ah, yes.
And I really like the colour anyway.
I love green.
And I always wanted a TII one.
Yep.
And that's the only one I ever wanted, really. I've never really just wanted a 202.
Yes.
And I had a really good mate that was a really good mechanic. His mum knew I was coming down. So we were in this pub, like middle of the afternoon, and she came down with this car. And she was like, Bing, I thought you wanted to buy this car off me. And I was like, yeah, I do, but I really want to be, taking it now.
Right now. Yep.
And she was like, well, if you don't do it now, you're not having it. Ended up by buying it off for 50 quid. Yeah. On the way home, my mate was in a 3-litre Capri. A Mark 1 3-litre Capri.
Yeah.
And we're going along the top
Granada.
of a place called Clay Pigeon. Going along, and he starts flashing me. So like we're doing 100 mile an hour.
Yep.
So he starts flashing me. So I sort of slowed down, and he shot past me.
Yep.
I was like, what the fuck? What was all that about? Anyway. So we carry on going fast, and the next thing I look in my mirror, and there was literally not flames, but sparks coming out of the exhaust.
Yes.
Where she'd been tootling around Weymouth for however many years.
Yep, that was all the carbon.
And I was giving it shit, and it was it was like a fireworks show.
That's so good.
And that was the fastest 202 TII I ever owned.
Because they're 170 horse, aren't they?
No, 130.
130 horse, yeah.
This one here I just bought recently, actually about a year ago.
Yes.
And it's got a sunroof, which I always like.
Yeah.
It's Inka Orange, which is, everybody loves Inka Orange.
I'm a big fan of old cars with citrus colours.
Yeah,
Do you look for cars that are running like shit bags, or you just
No,
like
not really.
cars that are often left
I
to be
just like
running
old
shit
cars,
bags?
and if they run like shit bags, then I get them sorted out. Basically,
Yes.
I would try to.
So 1973.
73, yep.
Yep. 2002 TTI.
TII, yeah.
And that's what they call them, 2002? Like that's
yeah,
the...
Yeah, 2002, yeah.
Yeah, 2002, okay.
Yeah. One thing about these two cars is that this and the Volvo.
Yes.
Is that these two cars, as it happens, were the first 2 production cars ever to come out with fuel injection.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And you just happen to own both of them?
Yeah.
To me, this feels exactly what I think it should feel like.
Yeah.
Like this feels like it's a car of this era, of this sort of drive,
Yeah.
Feels heavier than I thought it would in the steering.
Yeah, well, probably because the Volvo was non-power steering, but I put power steering in it.
Okay, so you've tricked me.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that should be like this, but it's much better.
Yeah. Cool. So, the BMW.
Yes.
That was so cool. That pedal was one of the heaviest pedals I think I've ever felt.
Clutch or accelerator?
The accelerator.
Yeah, it's it's all mechanical on it, so it's like. Yeah,
Oh, of course, that's the mechanical linkage. Oh, whereas on it's just the cables.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, it's an actual rod that runs through and goes up to the injection system.
That's like the old Datsun 240Zs. They're like that.
Yeah,
And you can feel the real, no, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So what's next for that?
Well, again, I'm going to sell it. I
Yep.
only bought it a year ago because it was just sat in a garage for 5 years and it needed to be rescued.
Yep. I really like that you collect, rescue, and plan to release.
Plan to release. Yeah, I don't like selling. I don't really like selling them, but it's a really clean car.
Yeah.
It was originally an Aussie car. Came in the country in '87, I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it was. It was 87.
And yeah, I mean, it's car. Like I said, I've owned 4 of them. Well, that's my 4th one.
And what's the favourite thing that you've done to that one?
Well, I haven't actually done that much to that car, other than just tidied it all up.
Yep.
Well, getting the injection system running probably, actually, because it ran like an absolute shit face.
So did it physically look much like it does now, and you've just done
Yeah,
the mechanical side of it more?
And tidied it up, I polished it, and it was just been sat around for a long time doing nothing.
Yep.
My mate John, there's a BMW specialist. He did his apprenticeship on those things.
Yes.
So he really knows his shit on them. And he stripped it all apart, cleaned it all out, really set it up properly.
Oh, you've got to have a job.
I was with there watching him do it.
Yeah.
It was, you know, I mean, they can't be that hard. It's got a Googlefish
Yeah.
injection system. And yeah, he just knew his shit, you know. So yeah, it runs sweet now. Like I said, the gearbox was all, it was really hard to get in that gear.
Yep.
It was just really I think the guy had it, he did all the aesthetics to it, but never actually did much to the engine.
Yeah.
I said to you, the front pulley had no nut on it at all.
Yeah.
Like, I was lucky to get it back in.
On the crank pulley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that had come off, it came off here when because the fan belt was squealing like
Yes.
that. So I came back here, tightened the fan belt up, started it up, boom. And yeah, sure enough, the fan belt had come off, and then it was the pulley wheel that made the noise.
Oh.
I know. You imagine what that would have done if it came off on the motorway?
And the day you bought it.
Yeah.
Because I assume you drove it home, right?
Of course I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh,
yeah, the
man.
brakes were shit, so I've done them. And I just like tinkering with it, get them running.
I love the colour. I'm a huge fan of
Inka
bright
Orange.
cars. Yeah, it's
Inka
so
Orange.
cool.
It's the favourite colour of those guys, apparently.
Yeah. And everywhere you go, like people with the smiles and the looks and
I really love
you-
that car.
Yeah, it's something about being in a really bright old car that just they pop as they come out and people look.
Orange is my favourite colour as well. So
Is it?